Hello y'all to the other side of the screen. Regularly I'm Jonas, but today I'm going to be the angry layman. Why am I the angry layman? I'm not gonna go too in-depth technically, but I'm still gonna look at the technical aspects, but from a layman's point of view. Today is the 26th of November, Thursday, and tomorrow is going to be the 27th of November, Friday. For the past 2 weeks I've been looking at the Alienware homepage, looking for a deal on an Alienware machine. Why? I don't know why. I really don't need a new laptop. I have a Alienware M17 R3 from 2018, and to be honest, for my use it's still perfectly competent. But due to my frivolous capitalist yearn to consume, I've been still keeping my eye out. It's Black Friday. I've never really paid any attention to the deals on Black Friday, and I'm hoping to snatch up a real deal. But I can tell you already that the prices have been pretty similar for the past 2 weeks. I don't think there's gonna be a huge drop off tomorrow, but let's look at the machines I've been looking at. So as you can see, Alienware is offering 4 base configurations on their homepage for an Area-51M R2. So let's go briefly through these configurations. For $17.99 you get a 10th gen i7 10700 with a GTX 1660 Ti. If we take a quick look at the graphics cards comparison from notebookcheck.net, then I would discard the 16600 Ti because my current laptop has the 1070, and as you can see from the screen here, I mean, what? Like Alienware, what are you doing? The premise of the Area-51M is that it's modular, so in theory you could upgrade your computer, but you can only upgrade it within the generation. So theoretically you can buy the machine with the GTX 1660 and you can upgrade it to an RTX 2080.
But this right here is the proverbial money shot. And this is the piece that Dell says they would like. Obviously, bad stuff can happen. The spec could change to such a degree that it's impossible, but that they would like to be user upgradable in the future. So the idea here is that you could remove this with a couple of screws, and not only, you remove this right here, and not only would you be able to change the performance, you could even change the outputs on this thing so you could support future display standards like HDMI 2.1, for example. Pretty flippin' cool.
But here's the catch, it's not gonna come for cheap, as we can see from the article by The Verge, quote unquote. The biggest issues with the upgrade kits are steep prices. The RTX 2070 kit costs $1,038.99, while the RTX 2080 kit is $1,638.99. So even if you're gonna get the base configuration for $1,800, you'll upgrade it for another $1,650, which is the cost of the base configuration itself, and then you're still not gonna have the i9 10900K. Alienware, I'm asking, what is the point of this first configuration? Like, it makes no sense. It's just to fool someone into buying himself a second gen Area 51, but really you're not getting much besides the processor. Okay, I'm gonna give it that, like the processor. If you look at the processor list here, so one thing to note about Area 51s is that the processors have the, what do you want to call it, the desktop architecture. So we are not gonna see 10700 here since it's a desktop CPU, but here's the 10700K. So I would imagine, keeping it layman, that it's just slightly less powerful, because as far as I understand, the K behind the name means that it's somewhat overclockable. Not going too deep into processors, architectures and stuff I really don't know much about. Besides the processor, everything else seems to be like a ripoff for that price. I haven't done deep market research into what the HP, Asus machines cost, but I have a little example here. Lenovo Legion 5i 17-inch machine. I'm looking at 17-inch machines because, you know, more is better. You can get a similar machine. The processor is not going to be 10700 but 10750H. Not at the level of the 10700K. 10700K seems to be just performing percentually better. Let's say it's about 20% more capable. You're gonna get this computer for $1,329, $1,330, and you're gonna get an RTX 2060. If we look at the graphics card list, You're gonna get a better graphics card with this machine. All our other specs are pretty similar. The processor is a bit stronger, but keep in mind you're paying way less, way less. Plus it seems that another thing that really irks me about Area 51 is the double adapter configuration for maximum performance.
But wait, there's more to your carry, to your load. So this laptop is so powerful it requires two power supplies. This is a 330 watt power supply, and this one is 180 watt. I believe if you go with a Core i9 overclockable and the RTX 2080 Super, this might actually be a 240 watt, so slightly bigger again.
As you can see, Legion 5i will be coming with one adapter. I don't know, Alienware, what are you doing here? Who are you planning to sell this computer to? Keep in mind that if you want to upgrade the graphics card, it's going to cost you a fair share of money, and if you add this, let's say, $1,000 on the base configuration of the Area-51M, then you're gonna have a way better computer. So there's another ugly duckling in between here. As we can see, it has the AMD graphics card. Keeping it layman here, I have no ideas about AMDs here. Kinda understand the nomenclature of GeForce cards. This is purely personal opinion. I just wouldn't get the AMD machine. You really don't have choices here. You either dish out $2,879 for the Area 51 with the RTX 2070, or I mean, there's no point of buying these lower configurations in my mind. This is just my opinion from what I've gathered looking at the specs, because we go back to Lenovo. I have no connections with Lenovo whatsoever. I've never had a single electronic appliance coming from Lenovo, but still, like, look at this machine. So it's $1,750. You're gonna get the 1080 Max Q. It's a pretty darn good graphics card. You're gonna get the 9th gen i7 9750H, but if we look at the processor list, the 9750H is a pretty goddamn fast processor from the numbers I see from here. Okay, it's not a 1070K, but still, just look at the numbers. Looking at it with my layman eyes, for a casual user, this machine, given the graphics capability, is a pretty goddamn good deal. I love my Alienware machine that I have at the moment. Sounds like I'm bashing at them, but I wholly understand that Alienware is the Apple of gaming PC laptops. You're just paying for the brand, but still, come on. Come on! I have another list available here, so it's called laptopmedia.com, top laptop graphics ranking. So let's look at the 2080 Max Q. And it just offers you a choice of machines. So just let's see all laptops with 2080 Max Q. So the Lenovo machine for $1,750 with a 9750H and 2080 Max Q for $1,750. It's not gonna get much better than that. As we scroll through the list here, let's see for an equal machine. I suppose this Asus ROG Zephyrus S GX701, it's $2,100. If you scroll around here, I mean, you're gonna find similar machines. Now comes the second part of the rant that really dreads me at this moment. So I said the cheaper Area-51M R3 machines are kind of pointless to get compared to this Legion i740. Actually, Alienware has a machine that you could get that makes sense and costs similar amount of money. It's the M17 R3 with the RTX 2070 and 10th generation i7 10750H. So the 10750H is a bit down the list from 9750H. As we can see, the numbers are pretty similar, but the 9750H is ranked a bit higher. And as far as the graphics goes, with this Legion we have the 2080 Max Q, and the Alienware has just the 2070 Super. So Max Q versus Super, what can we see here? These machines are pretty similarly priced, pretty similar in specs. Lenovo has a bit better processor, as we can see from here. The graphics cards on both are at the top part of this list, so for a casual layman guy like me, it doesn't make that much difference, I would hazard a guess. But the main thing that irks me about the M17 R3 is the fact that the RAM has been integrated on the motherboard. David from MASH IT, hit it!
And the RAM is soldered on. So make sure when you're buying this laptop, you buy it with the amount of RAM that you need. SSDs you can change, RAM you need to have the right amount when you buy it.
I understand the concept behind it. Alienware has differentiated the product range, but come on, 16 gigs of DDR4 at 2666 MHz. I have more RAM in my current 4-year-old model Alienware than you can get with this brand new machine. Whilst I'm getting the Apple of the gaming PC laptops, I can't pump those rookie numbers up. I can't tell you whether or not that's gonna be the limitation of this computer, but it kinda sounds shoddy to me. It has a good enough processor and a good enough video card for the money, but come on. Okay, don't give us 4 RAM slots, give us 2, that's good enough, but by God, please, why are you doing this nonsense? Why are you doing this nonsense? Like, it kind of hurts my head. I wholly understand that that is what differentiates the M17 R3 and the Area-51M R2 product range, but it just makes my head hurt. I also understand that it's gonna be cheaper to produce it this way, and that means more money for Alienware, but come on. Here we have Lisa Gate from the Mobile Tech Review.
Our RAM is right over here again. We got the 3200 megahertz RAM, 16 gigs in dual channel mode. Yes, in the last generation, and the height is still here available for it. There were 4 slots for RAM. Now we're down to 2. Methinks this is probably for speed optimizations and other things that get really geeky and, you know.
We're not getting really geeky here. So even with the Area 51 machine, they've like downsized your possibilities. Like why? Why? No, I don't care about architectures, heat managements, whatnot. Oh, this, that, going too in depth. I mean, as a regular consumer, it looks like complete nonsense to me. Work around it. To me, as an Alienware fanboy, as far as I can be a fanboy for computers, we're looking at 2 confusing product line offerings. I don't understand why the M17 R3 is made so that you can't upgrade the RAM, honestly. If you could upgrade the RAM on the M17 R3, I would have already bought it. This machine, on paper, looks like a good deal. I wouldn't mind it coming with 16 gigs of RAM. I would just buy more RAM and upgrade it myself, but that is not possible. The only thing I can really gather from here is that Alienware really is the Apple of gaming PC laptops. And the main thing that really hurts me is this machine. Why? Why? Like, if you could upgrade the RAM on this one, it would be a very good deal in my book. But now, just crushed hopes and dreams. Well, it's Thursday. I mean, Friday is tomorrow. I'll be refreshing. I don't care. I know that the prices most likely won't change much anymore, because these prices have been here for the past 2 weeks like this. So I would hazard a guess they're not going to drop that much when Friday hits the US. Maybe on Cyber Monday. I will keep a lookout. But at the moment, it would seem to me that if I would be getting anything, it's the Lenovo machine. But then again, I'm the layman. I like casual stuff, so how could I give up the Apple of the gaming PC laptops? You know, I would have the Alienware shiny logo and stuff, and people would see it, compared to Lenovo, which just tells nothing to most people. I don't know. I don't know. So let's come to some conclusion here. Let's start with the M17 R3. Alienware, I'm disappointed that the RAM is not upgradable. Area-51M machines, well, they're kind of pricey for what you get. Definitely there's no point of buying the bargain basement spec. AMD graphics card, well, I don't know much about them, so I'm not gonna give my opinion. I would hazard a guess though that the bottom 2 machines are really pointless to buy. If I would get something, I would get the third spec here. Obviously, you can spec the machine yourself and go crazy with your dollars, but someone like me who has very little dollars, I mean, you can't really do it. But the third spec today, 26th of November 2020, at the Alienware homepage, it looks like a reasonable deal to me. Maybe the price will drop on Black Friday or Cyber Monday a bit more, who knows, but even at $2,900, it looks a pretty reasonable deal. And the third conclusion I would make is that if you're not that brand oriented, like I am, because I'm casual, you know, I want to have the Apple of the gaming PC laptops, then just shop around. This Legion i740 looks like a good deal to me for the money they're selling it for. Upgrade the RAM, you're gonna get the 2080, you're gonna get a decent processor which ranks higher than the processor they have in the M17 R3, and you get all that for 1750 bucks. Looks like a deal to me. Obviously there are other brands, but this video mostly was supposed to be a rant about Alienware and why Alienware hurts my heart. This is kind of like a little pre-Black Friday talk. I hope it wasn't too confusing, but it was really mostly supposed to be a rant, cause like I said, I'm the angry layman, so I'm just angry, and I'm a layman, so I don't know much. But the Dunning-Kruger effect is fully at play, so I think I know something, but I really don't. But I still have a strong opinion, so I want to voice it, and that's what I did. So if anyone watched this bullshit, then thank you for watching. Dislike, report, and whatever, like another reviewer I like to watch says at the end of his videos. Now go away!